Hello children. Today we are going to learn the chapter 2, that is water, from SST. Children, let's start with the lesson. Children, first we have to know what is water and why do we need water. So, water is one of the basic necessities of life. That means without water we cannot live. Human beings, animals and plants all need water to live. Without water, there will be no life on earth. So, it means that we need water because it is the basic necessity of life, like food, and human beings, animals, and plants, they all need water because they are all living things. So, all living things like human beings, animals and plants need water to live, and without water there will be no life on earth. Okay? Now children, we will learn about the uses of water. So now look at your screen. Children, we use water for drinking, cooking, bathing, cleaning, washing, growing crops, and many other things. So, we use water for so many different purposes, isn't it? Water is necessary for our daily purpose. We are going to learn about the source of water. We will watch a video on the sources of water. Children, let's watch it together.
It was springtime. All the animals in the jungle were out in the sun playing on the green grass. The monkeys were swinging from the branches of the trees. The squirrels were running up and down the trees. The ducks were swimming in the lake. The deer were nibbling on the fresh green leaves, and the butterflies were flying from flower to flower. Freddie Froggy wanted to swim in the river flowing through the forest. The moment he jumped into the water, he croaked loudly and leaped out. Baloo the bear, who was having a lazy nap nearby, woke up with a start. He yelled,
"What happened, Freddy?"
Freddie said,
"The water is very cold. I wonder where it comes from."
Do you know where water comes from? The main source of water is rain. When rain falls, it flows down to the low-lying areas, and water collects there to form ponds and lakes. The rainwater flows down into the rivers and into the sea also. In the winters, we have snowfall on the mountains. The snow starts melting slowly after the winter season is over and flows down the rivers. That is why Freddy the Froggy found the water very cold. This is the water we can see. Some of the water seeps into the ground. With the help of motors and tube wells, we can pump out the underground water. Man makes overhead tanks to store water. Water is pumped from under the ground to fill up these tanks. We get water in the taps in our house through the pipes from these overhead tanks. Let us find out what Bhalu the bear tells Freddy the Froggy.
Bhalu touches the water and finds it very cold too. He looks at the ducks swimming merrily. He tells Freddy,
Why don't you go and swim in that lake over there? I do not think the lake water is as cold as the river water.
Freddy thought that it was a good idea. He took big leaps to reach the lake. Bhalu went back to continue with his nap. Recap. The main sources of water are rain and snow. Rainwater collects in low areas to form lakes and ponds and flows down the rivers to the sea. Snow melts into water and flows down the rivers into the sea.
Children, now we will learn about earth crust. In the video, we have seen from where we get water, isn't it? Now we have to know in details like how we get water. So the first topic is Earth's crust. Now let's see. There is a huge amount of water in the Earth's crust. This underground water is taken out by means of wells, tube wells, and hand pumps. Wells and hand pumps generally found in the villages. So children, look at your screen. What it is saying? That under the earth or below the earth crust there is a huge amount of water. And how can we take out the water from under the earth crust? We can use wells, tube wells and hand pumps. Tube wells and hand pumps are almost same, okay? So wells and hand pumps can take out water and it is mostly found in the villages, okay? Now we will learn about rainwater. Rain is the most important source of water. It gets collected in ponds, lakes, and rivers. It is also absorbed by earth and finally goes down in the earth's crust. In this way, rainwater increases the quantity of every other sources of water. So children, let me explain. Rain, as we know, it is the most important source of water. It gets collected in the ponds, lakes or river. Then it is absorbed. That means earth collect the water or absorb the water and slowly the water goes down under the earth's crust. This way we can take out water from the earth with the help of a hand pump, well or tube wells. Like this, rainwater increases the quantity of every other sources of water. That means rainwater helps to increase more water in pond, lakes and river. Okay. We will learn about snow. So, let's learn about snow. Snow found on mountains like the Himalayas, Alps, and etc. It is also another source of water. During summers, the snow on the mountain melts and flow down as streams. These small streams join to form big rivers. These rivers prove to be very important source of water. So children, as we know that we can find snow on mountains. From snow we get water because when the snow melts during summer season, it becomes water and the water melts down and flow. That means the snow melts down and flow down as a stream. Okay. And small streams form a big river. So the rivers are proved to be very important source of water because this river water are the main source from where we can get water for drinking or some any other purpose that we have learned like cooking, bathing and various other purpose. The next topic is ocean and seas. Children, I'm sure you have heard the names of ocean and seas. So let's learn about them. Large and deep water bodies are called seas. Big seas are called oceans. Though ocean and seas have a huge amount of water, but this water is not very useful. This water is saline as it contains lots of salt. So we cannot use water for domestic purpose or for growing crops. So children, here it means that large and deep water bodies are called seas, and when the seas are very big, it is called oceans. Though ocean and seas have a lot of water in it, but we cannot use it. Why? Because the water is very salty and it is called saline water. Okay, so the water is saline water because it contains a lot of salt. So we cannot use this water for any domestic purpose. That means we cannot use it for drinking or bathing or growing crops. Any other purpose we cannot use this water that comes from ocean and seas. Okay, children. Now, I'm sure you have understood the lesson, but you need to keep some things to remember. Okay, so let's learn the things that we need to remember. In our homes, we get water through taps. This water is not fit for drinking. Hence, we should purify this water by filtering or boiling before drinking it. Impure water can make us sick. We should not waste water. We should drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. So children, we have to know that in our home we get water from the taps. Okay, so this water comes from various other places. So before we start drinking this water that comes from the taps, we need to boil them, because boiling can help to kill the germs and bacteria that are not good for our health. So we need to purify it. That means we need to boil or filter the water before drinking it. If we drink the impure water or the water which is not purified, it can make us sick. And most important thing, children, you have to remember, wherever you are, you should not waste water, because water is very precious and it is very essential for living beings. So we should not waste water. We should drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. I hope children, you will learn all these points. Okay. So children, today we have learned the lesson from chapter 2, water. We have learned so many different things in this chapter, isn't it? We have learned the uses of water and the sources of water. Children, I will request you to please go through this video again and again, so that it is clear in your mind that what we have learned. Okay? I will see you in the next class. Bye bye and take care.